Police Department Traffic Safety Unit in an effort to inform the general public about issues related to traffic safety, but more specifically, the Board of Commissioners and the Police Department is considering adopting a traffic calming policy and procedure. Over the last 2 decades as Chief of Police, I can tell you the biggest complaint from our citizens has consistently been traffic safety issues. I'd like to now introduce the manager of our Traffic Safety Unit, Officer Alan Freed.
Traffic calming in Abington Township is actually not a new concept or idea. The Traffic Safety Unit since 2008 has used the traffic calming process when they have received requests for speeding issues and complaints. Couple of things to take into account. The traffic safety policy that we're introducing tonight was derived from several different locations. The federal MUTCD, the PennDOT Traffic Calming Manual, which is also known as Pub 383, other townships and boroughs that have implemented traffic calming policies. And since 2008, the Traffic Safety Unit has used this policy, although it has not been adopted by the Board of Commissioners. Speed reduction is a 3-step process. The first step is education. If that doesn't work, then enforcement. And if education and enforcement don't work, traffic calming is the 3rd step in the process. There's several different traffic calming measures. What we're going to concentrate on tonight is 4 things: be traffic humps, speed humps, speed tables, RFBs, which are flashing lights, and speed tables. When we designate an area for traffic calming, there's numerous things that we look at. They're listed on the board here tonight. You can look at these on our website and also on Channel 43 and be able to research those more as we go. The 3 types of traffic calming that we're going to look at mostly tonight are speed cushions, speed tables, and speed humps. We have a picture of several of those in front of us. Speed humps, as they used to be called, are relatively relegated to parking lot use. They were the high humps, 3 or 4 or 5 inches high and very narrow. What we're looking at more now is a speed table or a speed cushion, which is also known as a speed pillow. The 4th type of traffic calming that the township is looking at are the rapid flashing beacons. These are used at crosswalks and promote safety for pedestrians. It allows motorists to better see when a pedestrian is going to cross the roadway. There's additional traffic calming measures that are listed on our website. You can look at those at your leisure. The township right now is not looking at implementing too many of those due to the engineering that needs to be done and also the cost of the project. However, they can be considered if all else fails as far as the traffic tables go or the speed tables go. Speed hump definition: the speed humps are designed to reduce speed, not necessarily the volume of traffic, although they are used to do that. Listed are some advantages and disadvantages. 2 big things to look at here are speed tables and humps may reduce parking on your street and also may cause traffic to go to a parallel street that would not normally have it. Considerations with speed humps: we look at street classification, lane width and number, grades, alignments, sight distance, traffic speeds, volumes, and safety, as well as crashes that are speed related. The big thing to remember here is that no speed table or hump will be placed within 150 feet of an unsignalized intersection or 250 feet of a signalized intersection. Again, there's some other considerations as far as signage and roadway markings that need to be implemented. There's a speed hump approval process. Speed humps tables are not going to be placed on roads that where the speed limit exceeds 35 miles per hour, and they will not be put on state roads. There's many different steps here in the approval process. You can look at those and read through them at your leisure, and we'll be able to contact us if you have any further questions. One big thing to remember is in the speed hump approval process, we use the 85th percentile speed. Speed tables and humps probably will not be considered until the speed limit is 10 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. Other things that will be considered are recommendations from fire and ambulance organizations that use the streets. They must be consulted, as well as the Public Works Department, as there's going to be different things that come up as far as snow plowing and roadway paving. There's going to be an implementation process. Like I said, prior to this, the Traffic Safety Unit actually used this policy, with the exception of the fact that only one person had to call to register a complaint. The implementation process is here before you. Just to cover it real quickly, there has to be a petition filed with 70% of the residences and businesses on the affected street approving it. The studies would then be completed. If the process is deemed to be able to move on, it would be determined that a second petition be filed with 70% of the residences and 60% of the residences and businesses on a parallel or cross street would have to approve. The recommendation would be passed on to the township. An engineering study would have to be done, a resolution passed, and then if it's so deemed, the installation of the traffic calming measure would be implemented. The 85th percentile speed, this is just an explanation of what that is. It's that which 85% of the traffic is flowing at or below, and it's used not only federally but statewide as far as implementing different signage, setting speed limits, traffic calming, and speed enforcement. There's a bunch of different reasons to use traffic calming. They're listed here before you on the board. It's a recognized standard out of the traffic calming manual and the PA vehicle code. It promotes safety and allows traffic to flow. Speed humps, again, are not to be used on roadways posted more than 30 miles per hour and not to be implemented on state roadways. There's some costs that are done with these speed humps and installing them. You can see the costs here on the board. I do have the cost of the other traffic calming measures. If anybody is interested, they can contact me with those. The costs are based on drainage conditions and materials used to install the humps, plus the engineering costs, so they can be quite costly. If you have any further questions, please feel to contact the Traffic Safety Unit at the address on the screen, or you can contact Lieutenant Porter, and he would be able to pass you to the person to answer your question.
As you have seen and heard, Officer Freed provided many details on what constitutes traffic calming. In order for this to be successful, we need to have all of the stakeholders on board. In other words, the 70% of the residents, the Board of Commissioners, our general public, other emergency services, our second alarmers, our fire companies, our township highway department. When we craft a policy and procedure that includes a mechanism for all the stakeholders to weigh in, the prospects for success are much greater. So I just wanted to leave you with that. We had all of these details that are available to you, but in order for this to be successful, these steps need to be taken where we educate the public, we provide a mechanism for feedback, and we provide an opportunity for all of our stakeholders to jump on board and give us the proper direction as we move forward.